Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Professor Tuck. Thank you for joining me today. Um, this is completely open, so there is no restriction on chat. I know a lot of people have been saying, "Well, I can't chat because da 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 da." Um, you can chat. I did that for about a 2 week period of time to get rid of the stupid and the people that were kind of, sucking a lot from me. And those people have gone away, and the core people that were the positive influence have stuck around. For those of you that keep saying, "Hey, I can't chat with you," stuff like that, that's actually hasn't been true for some time, especially since I went to doing things a little bit differently with with the green room. So here's if you guys saw my message yesterday, then you have an understanding of what's going on. If you didn't see my message yesterday, we'll give you a moment to kind of get in here, as it doesn't look like we have anybody in right now. Okay, so we've got a first person in here. It just gives us a second. Hold on, I want to take a bite off of my brand new cookie, and then we will we'll continue this conversation. I want to give you guys a moment to get in. Hmm. Okay. All right. Well, maybe people didn't get enough notice, whatever it may be. Okay. So let's talk about the message that I put up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go over to the community tab. You go over to the community tab. It's the last post I put out there. In reality, here's what I've been facing. You guys have heard me complain about this for about 9 months now. And the thing is I'm tired of complaining about it, and you guys are probably tired of listening to me complain about it. When I started this channel, it was more geared towards a homeless man's point of view to teach you how to be, oh, what is it? How to bug out, or how to travel and be resourceful like the homeless. So basically, I was a homeless man trying to teach preppers how the homeless actually live. What ended up happening is, over time, I ended up becoming the voice of the homeless and talking about a lot of the homeless topics and homeless issues. Um, I do not actually watch UTC, so UFC. So, but anyways, that process, I went through that, and I was very successful, or at least I was starting to get successful. I had my first viral video, started doing well. I was hiking trail, and it made people really, really happy that I was hiking trail. And so with that, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to do well. So I got off, and I decided to or I was able to make enough money to buy me a piece of land. But then that's kind of what screwed everything up, is because the reason why most of the subscribers are here was for one specific message, which was to cover homelessness and like homeless awareness, homeless education, and homeless survival. And since I am no longer homeless, because YouTube was my avenue off of the streets, it was what gave me an opportunity to get a piece of land, to be able to own a piece of land, and to be able to be in the situation in which I'm in right now. YouTube did its job in helping me accomplish that task. Those of you that are here, that have been following me for some time, you were part of that success. But the thing is, you can only beat a dead horse so long before you're just beating it to animate it. And it's gotten to that point where it's like I've got an opportunity. All of the stars have aligned for me in such a way that I have another huge opportunity. This is because of you guys. This is because of my sponsor, Stephanie. This is because of all of the good that has come from being a YouTuber. Okay, even though there's a lot of stuff to complain about, if I look back on it, I do some reflection, and I look at where I was and where I am, my life is night and day. And I have gone my own little rags to riches experience, where I lost everything and had to start over. And now my life is looking up to, I have another opportunity. I like doing what I'm doing, but I think it's time to change the message. And as much as I would like for to be able to carry it along in this channel, I'm not going to be able to carry it along in this channel, because people are here for a specific thing. I have not had a single video that has remained that has been looked at, or that stays in my rotation of like more viewed videos, especially when I covered the homeless topic, since I've been off trail. And so that was a big indicator. So YouTube, when it pushes me out, it pushes me out as a homeless survival channel. It does not put me out as, a resilience person, or talking about building resilient community, or anything that I've actually talked about over the last 9 months. YouTube has not wavered from, and I've given plenty of information to be able to waver from and get away from the the pigeonhole of being a homeless survival channel, which is why I'm starting a new channel. It's called America's Backbone. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be doing this in two separate ways. So for those of you that want to continue to follow along in the journey, I'm going to give you an avenue. We're going to talk about that today. For those of you that are here for the homeless stuff, and you want to ask me questions about surviving homelessness and how to do that, I'm going to start covering topics along that line, because that is what the audience came here for. And so I still want to be able to talk about the homeless issue, but that is not where I am anymore. And it is a part of who I am. But at the same time, um, after you get out of prison, you don't go around and go, "Look at me, I'm some big dude that just got out of prison." No, you're just like, "I'm another human being. I've reassimilated back into society." So after losing everything, I'm able to gain everything back and reassimilate back into society. So this is an amazing feat that I have been afforded through this experience, and you guys have got to join along with me. What's that, War Donkey? Nice to see you, buddy. Um, and so that is why I am pivoting over to a whole new channel. I see some of you have already come over. I've got like 12 to 15 of you that have come over. I want to say thank you for those of you that have. For those of you that haven't, or just now hearing about this, let me explain to you what it really is going to be. You guys know me well enough that you know I love to travel. Because I like to travel, I want to be able to travel in a little bit more style than roughing it out in the woods on trail. It's fun. It's something I'd like to do, but like 500 miles at a time, not thousands of miles at a time. And it's just that's a little too far. And I I walked enough trail to where, like, I have my favorites. I want to go to the AT. I want to go to the Pinhoti. I love the Alabama Road Walk. I'm not a big fan of the Florida Trail. I mean, it was nice when I was on it because it was my first trail, but there's so many better trails. I'd rather go do the Alabama Road Walk. But I've had these experiences. I want to be able to continue to travel and to go around and explore cities and continue what I've been doing for the last 3 years on the road. But I'm just going to do it in a different way. My goal is to be in a city for anywhere from 12 to 18 months. And over the 12 to 18 months, I will be working with, city government, city planners, all the movers and shakers of a city, and that will be part of how I choose where I move to moving forward. So cities will start inviting me over time. I will have to reach out maybe the first couple of cities, but what we're going to focus on is America's backbone. What is it that made America America? What made America great? It's not one man, it's not one party. It is a conglomerate of people who live by certain principles and values. And small town America is the only one that really gets it. In a lot of ways, kind of think of it like exploring a town, but instead of doing it like Mike Rowe did with Dirty Jobs, I'm doing it with the nuts and bolts and the grinding of a city. So anyways, taking talking to yourself all the live stream. um Maybe. um if you give me good questions, I'll actually answer them, but you guys, I haven't seen anything. So, and there's some things I'm just not going to talk about, especially that topic that you just mentioned there. But yes, I will end up, if you listen, if you put in something, um, uh, I will answer your question. But you got to put it in all caps. That's the rule. But anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna start focusing on highlighting small communities. The things that make them special and that make them stand out. Like here in this town, They've got a college, which kind of keeps the fresh blood coming in, and then you also have you have the Kiyosaki factory, and I think that there's a couple other factories. So this is one of those Midwest factory towns, and so this would be a great place to be able to sit back, set up shop, and really show um really show you just kind of like what America really looks like, because so many people right now think that the food comes from the grocery store, not realizing that you've got to have farmers. And I'm right on the edge of the breadbasket, on the border of basically Missouri and Nebraska. So uh, that's funny. That is funny, but that's kind of what's going to be going on. So you should check out America's Backbone. You guys should definitely come over there. So what's going to happen here? How is this channel going to keep going? Because I know some of you may be sitting back listening, going, "Okay, Chuck, my eyes are glazing over. Just get down to what it is that I'm going to get if you want me to stay here." And here's what's going to happen. You guys got to go through with my journey. You guys were here for that journey. You guys still want to continue on. There is a way for you to continue on. I'm going to start doing on my days off. So I get a couple of days off this week, and I get a couple of days off every week. So this week it'll probably be Tuesday and Thursday. Where we get on, I do a live stream, but it's only going to be about a 15-20 minute live stream. Why? Because this is just to kind of sit back, touch base with you guys. I want to start sharing with you, okay, I'm working on this, kind of a little bit more behind the scenes of what's going on my other channel, for those of you that just kind of want to follow both, because you're following me. Okay. Because this is going to turn into more of a personal channel, where if you want to be able to have that personal connection with me, you want to be able to follow my story further, I'm going to start creating that incubator for you. So if you want to participate in the green room, so about 30 minutes before the broadcast and then 30 minutes after the broadcast, we do a green room session. Starts at $5 a month. It's not like we're trying to get rich. It's just for those that want to be over there. It covers the cost of maintenance and all the stuff that I got to do to get prepared. And then we'll just come on over here and have a final like 15-minute conversation before we go back into the green room. So if that's something you would like to do, then we're going to definitely do that. I'm going to start sharing updates. So my first video that I am looking at doing is called it's going to be highlighting women-owned businesses. The reason why I want to highlight women-owned businesses is because there's a lot of them here. Like I would say at least a third of the businesses are owned by females, or are female led in one form or fashion. This that it's very different than what I'm used to in towns. And this is a town of maybe 10,000 people. And with 10,000 people, you would figure that there'd be a lot more diversity. But quite frankly, this is a very different town than what you would normally see. And so I want to start highlighting that by starting off with its first episode of doing talking about women-owned businesses. Now, the cost of the time for production is going to go up. So I'm only going to be doing maybe one video a week, and doing some other stuff to go along with it. But we're gonna go along this route. Okay. So for those of you that are here on the live stream, I want to say thank you for joining. Um, um, I want to thank you for joining me. I want to invite you back. I will be back tomorrow and Thursday to have to have a nice little check-in with you guys. For those of you in the green room, hold on one moment. You guys can go ahead and start unmuting, and we're gonna go ahead and say bye to everyone on YouTube. And I will see you tomorrow, same bat time.